Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Rachel and I'm here with another video. Okay, so anyways, today is going to be a little talking video. I just wanted to come to you all and just kind of, have a little chit chat and everything. I really feel like my dating video that I posted a while back, I feel like it did really well, and it kind of opened up a conversation for people my age, not only girls but also guys as well, and how hard dating is now. So let's talk about it. So most of you are single by choice. Some of you are single because of a breakup. Some of you are single because you don't want nobody. You don't need no man. You an independent woman who don't need a man. But I wanted to kind of share a story of my own, and hopefully this will kind of help out anyone who went through a similar situation, or if you do go through a similar situation, you can kind of look back on this video and be like, you know what, F him, F her, I don't need them, whatever. So this is a story about my breakup, and it was definitely a turning point in my life, a major turning point at that. If you're not really close to me, you probably don't know the exact story of how everything happened. A lot of people who follow me, who followed me on social media, knew of my ex because he was all over it and everything like that. But after we broke up, I really wasn't very upfront with exactly what happened because, one, I was embarrassed, and two, it was just a really rough time in my life, and so I really didn't want to relive it. I didn't really want to speak on it because, like I said, it was embarrassing to me, but a lot of people go through it, so I had no reason to be embarrassed, but I just felt embarrassed, so I didn't want to talk about it at the time. But I feel like my experience and me being transparent about it will help out a lot of people. So I just wanted to come on here and share. Okay, before I even go into this, disclaimer, I am not bashing anyone. This is my story and this is my truth and this is what happened on my side. There's always your side, their side, and the truth. So this is my account on what happened. I am not here to bash him. I am not here to bash anyone else. This is just what happened on my end. Okay, so let's continue. So from the moment me and my ex got together, it was instant chemistry. We went on our first date and literally was together ever since. So I always told myself when getting into this relationship, I told myself that I would always be independent, I would always have my own, and that I would not lose myself with being with someone because, I already knew, what went along with being with someone in this profession. So we were together, everything was fine. Of course, hindsight is 2020, so we did have issues that I kind of swept under the rug a little bit. But, you know, from the, you know, little fights here and there, I thought everything was fine and dandy. So I lived in Ohio. He lived in New York for the season, and then he would come back and be with me in Ohio. I decided, you know, being independent, to live in Ohio and work in Ohio, and then go back and forth to the games and, you know, work still independently. So, as the years went by, things started getting more and more serious, of course, and I decided that I needed to, you know, make steps in order to start wanting to be with him more. And that meant living with him full time, which we, you know, did the long distance thing for a while and it worked. But, you know, when you really, really love someone, you want to be around them 24 hours, you know, the FaceTimes, no matter if they were hours and hours and hours of FaceTimes, they just didn't match up. So I decided to quit my job and look for a profession that would be more suitable, because, you know, professional athletes, they could be at this team one day, this team another day, and so you have to be ready to pick up and go quickly. So I wanted to do something where I could do all over the nation, no matter where we were at, and still make my own money. And so I decided to go to cosmetology school. Cosmetology school was great. I went there, but of course, I wanted to get done as soon as possible. So I went full time and didn't work during that time. And I also wanted to pay for everything on my own, because I had acquired a little savings working, because, you know, I didn't make this decision off the fly. I did prepare for it, and I did put money aside to live and everything. And so I wanted to be, once again, independent and, you know, supply for myself. And so the program was for a year, and I went through the program. Once the program was done, I decided that, you know, it was time that I moved with him, and that we were going to do the living together 24/7, and that I was going to be with him, you know, till the end of time, right? So I packed up my car, my like a month's worth of clothes, my dog and everything, and decided to go up and, you know, finish the rest of the season with him. And mind you, at this point in time, I had completely depleted my savings. I didn't have a job, and I lived with him in a condo that he purchased in Ohio. So basically, I didn't have shit to my name. So I go up and I am with him, and he had a game in LA, which this was my first time on the West Coast. And so I was really, really excited to finally get out here and see, you know, what LA is about. And I had always heard that it was, you know, amazing, that the weather was amazing and all that, but I had never, you know, been out here. So this is my first time. Came out here, loved it, and we went back home. We had like an argument before that, but basically, being completely transparent, the biggest issue in our relationship was the rift between me and his family. It was definitely tumultuous, to say the least. So you could tell that that was really weighing on him, because that's really all we fought about. So we get back, and my boyfriend of over 2.5 years tells me that he is not in love with me, that he can't marry me, and that I needed to figure out what I was going to do, because he didn't want to be with me anymore. And I felt like it came out of the blue, because it was just I mean, it just hurt. Someone that you loved so much telling you, you know, out of nowhere, telling you, you know, I just can't do this anymore, and really not giving you an explanation or reason of why. Really was like really heartbreaking. So at first I really didn't believe him. I was like, okay, he'll change his mind, whatever. So I go out to eat with one of my friends there, and she's like, no, just hold out. This was right before Thanksgiving. So she's like, oh, just hold out, you know, just he'll change his mind. He's just like tripping right now, blah, blah, blah. So I get back from there, and he's still asking me what I'm gonna do. And, you know, after about the third time that he asked me that, I just got fed up, and I started just picking up my clothes that I unpacked like nights before, and just throwing them into my car in order to leave. And I left that night without anywhere really to go. And I went to a hotel and stayed there for the night. I really didn't sleep a lot, obviously. And I started telling my family about it, and they were just dumbfounded, because nobody really believed what was really going on. And yeah, that's when my life drastically changed after that, because then the next day I drove back to Ohio and started a new life, which was crazy. When I got back to Ohio, things were not good. The girl that I promised myself that I would not be, I was. And whew. And I totally fell apart at that point of time. What the fuck? Ugh. Whoa. Shit. I totally fell apart at that point of time. I couldn't eat I was sleeping for like hours and hours and hours and hours. I really didn't want to talk to anyone. I don't think that the breakup, I mean, of course I was hurt by the breakup and everything, but I was more, looking back on it, I was more hurt because I lost myself. I lost myself for someone else. And it was hard to look at myself in the mirror because, you know, like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you this terrible person? And like, are you the cause of this? And then like the other side is just like, you know, you let yourself make a whole bunch of decisions around this man who essentially left you with nothing. And so I felt like a fucking loser. I felt like a loser. I felt like a bum. I just felt low, and my self-esteem was wrecked. It was just a really, really low point in my life, a super low point in my life. And I was just angry with myself that I let myself do this for someone else who essentially, I felt like didn't even care about me. Didn't care, you know, because like, who would do that to someone that they really, really loved? And so one day, my mom just came in the room and she was just like, Rachel, you gotta get up. You gotta pick yourself up and you gotta get up. And so I got up and I started life over. Going to LA before the breakup was really, really, like, important thing that happened because it set a trajectory for where I am right now. And you never know what events are going to lead you to, you know, your next chapter in life. And so, you know, LA kept playing in my head. But of course, my low self-esteem and everything, my lack of money, my lack stopped me from actually, you know, picking up and going. So, you know, I decided not to. And I decided to stay in Ohio and get a job and move into my own apartment. So, you know, your girl was building and, you know, getting up there. And all hoping that the person that broke me would come back. Needless to say, he never came back. And that was a tough pill to swallow, but I did finally, and I decided that Ohio just wasn't the place for me anymore. It wasn't what I needed in order to elevate. So after being fired from my job, I decided that I was going to put everything into getting to LA. I decided that these lies that I was telling myself that the breakup made me believe were untrue, and that if I worked really hard in order to get to where I wanted to be, I would be there. And so I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked and I sacrificed and I sacrificed and I sacrificed, but I made sacrifices this time for myself instead of someone else. And I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked, and I am now here in LA. I am so grateful for everything. The breakup, the way it was carried out, because looking back on it, if he would have never did the things that he did, I wouldn't have left. I wouldn't have left. And so if he wouldn't have carried things out the way that he did and the way things transpired, I wouldn't have left. And who knows where I would be? Who knows what would have happened after that? So I'm truly thankful for all of the events that happened, because they literally whirlwinded me to my destiny. And it all started with, well, technically it all started with, me coming out here. But it all started with my mom saying, you know what, you need to get up. You need to stop sulking. You need to get up right now. And so, that goes to say, no matter what an event in your life made you believe, or what someone else made you believe, or what yourself made you believe about yourself, you can get through anything. If I'm here right now, I never thought that I would honestly be here, ever. I never thought that I would be in LA, being able to pay rent and all that, being able to pay rent, have the things that I want to have, still be able to spend, still be able to do, what I want to do. Has the road been easy? No, it hasn't. But it has been so rewarding, because it's made me appreciate myself. I've been able to get back to myself. And I've been able to really appreciate what a strong woman I am. Are some days hard? Yes, definitely. Am I at the level that I want to be at with my self-love? No. But I'm getting there. And you can too. You can pick yourself up and you can be who you want to be. Because if I did it, you can do it. And I know that sounds corny as shit, but I'm super serious, because after that night driving to that hotel, I thought my life was over. I really thought my life was over, and my life seriously just began. It really just began, because RachelAngelica, am not the person to sit behind a man and just be silent and just not and just be meek and mild and just let him do whatever, and just sit there and just be a face, just be a trophy. I'm not that at all. And that was what my life was headed towards. Just me sitting back and just not really doing anything, not making waves in my life, not accomplishing the things that I wanted to accomplish, but making sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice in order to keep this person happy, and to sacrifice in order to, you know, work around his needs and what he was doing. And that's just not me. That's one thing that I realized. That's just not, it's not your girl, okay? I am not. And, you know, to someone who does that, that's perfectly fine. That's what, I mean, some people can do that, but that's just not who I am in the end. That breakup taught me that anything I put my mind to, I can do. I started this channel because of the breakup. I, you know, moved out here after, you know, the breakup and everything, because I decided that I'm gonna do what the fuck Rachel wants to do. So I wanted to do a YouTube channel. I was gonna do a damn YouTube channel. I wanted to move to LA. I was gonna move to LA. No matter if I knew somebody out here or not. This bitch, I was gonna move to LA. And that's what I did. And so after that, anything that I want, I started being more selfish. And selfish is not a bad thing, because you have to look out for you. Because who is going to look out for you? You. That's who's going to look out for you, because he's looking out for him. She's looking out for him. She's looking out for her. So why not you look out for you? And so anything that I want, I'm going to get. Never let someone or a circumstance dim your shine. If they love you, they are going to do everything that they possibly can in order to make your dreams come true. Because if you guys are giving to each other and everything is reciprocated, everything is going to be good. You know, if you have learned anything from this story, is that the sacrifices have to go both ways. So I thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, why haven't you? Go on ahead, click on my face, and I'll see you all in my next video.